writing and circumstance. On SmackDown, you're a little fish in a very large pond full of sharks.
That's a good way of putting it, in all honesty. I think that, well, there is one other thing I did want to mention about Raw, but we'll get into that in a minute. The other number one contender was actually announced later on that night because during a segment with Miz TV, 4 superstars in Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, and Dolph Ziggler got involved in an altercation, and that eventually wound up into a number one contenders match for the WWE Championship for the final SmackDown of 2016. And Dean Ambrose pinned The Miz, Dean Ambrose pinned Luke Harper, Dean Ambrose pinned... Wait. Dolph Ziggler won? Wait a minute. Wait. Did Hell Freeze over again? Because now we're getting Dolph Ziggler versus AJ? You mean to tell me we're ending SmackDown on a high note with Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship? I'm okay with this. I am honest to God okay with this.
Oh God, I am so okay with this. This match is going to be great. Dolph is going to die. Fucking chance that belt is coming off of AJ Styles. No, Ziggler can turn heel and they can do like a double turn. It doesn't matter. He's AJ Styles. Babyface AJ Styles might as well be Superman, except he can do Pele kicks. He's not losing that belt. I'm sorry. If he does, it would just be to stir up, attention, cause a little bit of drama at the end of the year, and then Styles will pretty much just murder him at the Rumble or something and get the belt back.
Well, you mentioned Royal Rumble. That would actually be kind of interesting because I know that they're still promoting this whole idea that James Ellsworth has a WWE title opportunity, which we know he is going to get. Murder doesn't even seem like the appropriate word. I think it's just going to be massacred, maybe. Just not even a chance. It just
every single death in the Friday the 13th franchise, just all at once.
Wait, does that include what is it? Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell?
Not Jason Goes to Hell. Yes to Jason X, just because they brought back the sleeping bag kill.
Okay, fair enough. But all in all, this SmackDown was actually very good. In all honesty, definitely would go check it out. The thing I want to kind of hit on before we talk about the UK announcement was on Raw, they continued the whole Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman saga and Mick Foley getting involved. It started off with Sami Zayn saying, give me Strowman, and Foley says, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to let you, basically commit career suicide. And Sami says, if you're not going to give me the opportunity here, maybe I should get the opportunity elsewhere. And Mick Foley says, okay, I will make a call to Daniel Bryan, and we will set up a trade. Later on that night, Mick Foley says, okay, we finalized the trade, and, you're going to SmackDown. And Sami's like, all right, fine. Mick Foley says, but would you like to at least know who we're trading you for? And Sami's just like, okay, humor me. Who is this person that I'm getting traded for? And Mick Foley says the two god-awful words in the English dictionary today. It says, you're being traded for Eva Marie. And honestly, can I blame the fact that Sami Zayn went off on Foley? No. He just goes ballistic and just says, hey, if you don't think I'm worth, 100 Eva Maries, I'm worth 1,000 Eva Maries. Hell, you can say that he's worth 1,000,000 Eva Maries. Although, I think it was AJ and Chris on our on Smart Money podcast, they were mentioning that if Eva Marie is worth like 100 Sami Zayns, then Eva Marie is worth like maybe 1,000 or 100,000 James Ellsworth. And I'm like, that's a fair comparison in all honesty. But all this was just a basic build-up for get Sami Zayn hot under the collar and get him to be like, hey, you don't think I can do it, just starts going off on Foley. And Foley says this was what I needed. This is what I wanted to see, was you having that fire, that passion to beat Braun Strowman. You want him. You got it this Sunday, but bring that same fire. And then he reveals there was no trade. He reveals a blank piece of paper. I loved where it was going, but this was kind of one of those things where when Mick Foley says, I did this to fire you up, I did this to kind of get you, pumped up and ready to go. This was one of those things where I just thought this was not the best way to go about it, because we all knew how fired up Sami Zayn was to face Braun Strowman. Did we really need to have this kind of a segment, and even to have that line of, I wanted to see you have that fire in your eyes? I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Max?
I've enjoyed parts of this whole storyline. Parts of it have been pretty good because Mick Foley, he's my favorite wrestler ever. I can't ever not love the guy. But even I got to admit, there's been a lot of repetition, and his character's been really stupid the past few months. Ever since the whole split happened.
Blame Raw Creative.
But, oh God, no, totally. I can't blame Mick Foley. There's just no way. The dude is doing his best with the material he's getting. But Sami is a great actor. So is Foley. And I like the idea behind the story. So there are parts, that I enjoy.
Right.
This whole thing with the blank paper, it's like, okay, what if he'd been so insulted that he just decided, fine, screw you. Just for that, I'm going to go to Smackdown and fuck you on the way out. And then he opens it and it's a blank piece of paper. So there's that problem. It feels anticlimactic. Did we really need to get Sami Zayn hyped up? And was that what the whole point of of him resisting him on fighting Braun Strowman was, to get him hyped up? Well, that makes no sense. So the only conclusion I could come to is that they pulled that ending because they realized somewhere down the line that Mick Foley being hyper insistent that, no, you can't, jeopardize your career. You can't just go after revenge. Telling all this to Sami Zayn makes no damn sense when it literally happens in every other storyline on the show, and he just lets it happen.
Yeah. Just...
so basic. Just, you've got essentially a setting. Like Star Wars is the galaxy in Star Wars is a setting. WWE Universe is your setting. You have to obey your own rules. SmackDown does it. Maybe that's because it's smaller and so they can be more focused. I don't know, but over on SmackDown, it feels like I'm watching a consistent show, even if the stories that I'm watching, the main event stuff doesn't have anything to do with what's going on with The Miz, but they feel like they're part of a fleshed-out little world. On Raw, it's, well, that story's done. Time to move on to the next show altogether. This is why I only watch like an hour of it.
Yeah, this was just a very long and unnecessary road to get to a point of, we all know that Sami Zayn's got the fire, he's got the passion, he wants to face Braun Strowman, everybody wants to see it. But that does make official Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman this Sunday in a 10-minute limit match. Very interesting to see, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now we go from something very pointless to something that kind of seems pointless, but also makes you think, okay, we are about to see probably one of the greatest things of all time. The announcement that Triple H made over in the UK was that they were going to create the WWE United Kingdom Championship. And in January, they're going to host a 2-night, 16-man tournament to determine who would be the first ever champion. And this just is beautiful because, he talks a lot about how they've been scouring the world and scouting talent over, and he mentions IWC, as well as some from Ireland, as well from UK. Just love that he mentions that he knows. He even talks about how he loves coming to the UK because the fans are very respectful of the craft that wrestling has created. They've really gotten into the matches. They're always just seemingly there to really give the support, to give the heat. They really just do their best to be the best fans, and they do a great job. Why the hell have we not had a pay-per-view over there in years, especially a WrestleMania, I mean, you saw frickin' SummerSlam 1992, damn it. Put another event over there. All honesty, this just seems awesome.
WrestleMania for Wembley Stadium.
Right?
Seriously?
They also made big announcements on what the announce team was. It's going to be Michael Cole, as well as Nigel Guinness from Ring of Honor is going to be on the announce team.
Oh my god, I just read about the announcement. Are you fucking serious? Seriously? Oh my god, that's freaking cool. That's awesome. Oh my god, he's going to school Michael Cole so badly. It's going to be great. It's going to be like watching a lion maul a rabbit.
Well, I think that calling Michael Cole a rabbit is an insult to rabbits everywhere.
Rabbits?
Yes. This is just turning out to be an awesome event. And now, a lot of people have actually been complaining that why have they not just brought back the European title? Why couldn't they have just done that instead of bring out this new championship? I've had to really think about this, and I kind of want to know your thoughts about this too. The whole UK championship concept could be great because, in all honesty, I could see that championship, like we were talking before the show, being exclusive to the United Kingdom, and they would just defend them in promotions there instead of just making this another championship to bring over to the WWE deal. Like, they could have events in which these championship is not only defended, but they could also have on that same night where that title's defended, show the rest of the card, show the rest of all of these deals. They could create something better, something bigger for the WWE network. It's like, hey, yeah, the UK title's on the line here, but we also have, this matchup going on. We have, Joe Hendry taking on Joseph Connors. We have, Martin Kirby in action. You have all these guys that could really just go toe-to-toe, and What Culture Pro Wrestling does a tremendous job of showing that, but you have all this untapped talent in the UK that you could use and still show off on the WWE network. And not only would you be doing a great business aspect to the UK fans, but the UK wrestlers, they're getting that exposure where it's like, hey, we've been wrestling here for a long time, and, there might be other places like, Ring of Honor, TNA, so many of these other wrestling promotions that might think, hey, this guy seems pretty awesome. Let's bring him over here to America. Let's offer him a deal. Let's do something. I mean, this is one of those things that could just basically open so many floodgates of potential for these well-deserving UK wrestlers. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on this, Max? You there, bud? I think Max might have been. You there?
My phone. Yeah, my phone had an issue there. Anyway, as I was saying, first off, I didn't even think about the idea of them putting together cards with IWC stuff and then they've got UK title at the top. That would just, oh my god, yes, do it. But I will say something very blasphemous right here.
All right.
I, like many people, loved the European Championship. However, the damn thing made no sense whatsoever. European Championship. Okay. So it's, below the Intercontinental title? Because that implied, North America and Europe and Asia. And then the world title was above that. So, and then, of course, we're going to think of the U.S. title as being better because it's the U.S. It's it felt weird. Now, you could say that the UK title feels small, but the way I'm kind of looking at this is a regional belt. This is going back to the old, NWA Mid-South days, when you had, the Mid-South and then the Northwest and then the Midwest territory. It feels kind of like that. And then when you've got that, you've got NXT, and then Raw and SmackDown over here doing their own thing, and they're all kind of allowed to be each their own thing. Raw gets to be the flaming dumpster bullshit that it is. SmackDown gets to be a pretty fun, pure wrestling show. NXT gets to be, the gem that was gifted to us by God himself. And this just gets to be wonderful and weird, honestly. I mean, UK wrestling is mental sometimes. But, I I'm all over this. This is great. I think it works kind of like a regional belt. I kind of want them to, I kind of want them to